Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is part of the Patriotic DIY challenge. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. Let's go ahead and get started with the first DIY. For this project, I used these smaller paint stir sticks. They come in a package of 10 from Lowe's and for 98 cents. I used 9 of them. And over here you see that I actually spaced them out nicely. So there's a little bit of space between each. And I took this large jumbo craft stick from Walmart and a little bit of hot glue. And then I put 2 of them, one of each for each side. And that will keep it in place. Now I'm going to take this Rust-Oleum chalk paint in linen white color and a little bit of water. And I will kind of whitewash every other stir stick, or actually paint stick, with this white paint color. And after I was done with all of it, you will see in just a second how it looks like. Now it's time to take this gray chalk paint by Martha Stewart. Also, I will water it down and I will paint the remaining of paint sticks. So all the ones in between. While that's drying, I'm taking these star wood shapes. I got them from Joann's for 49 cents. And then I'm going to take these 2 sets of Arteza acrylic paints, 2 reds, 2 blues, and 1 white Rust-Oleum chalk paint. I just gave these wood stars 1 coat. And after that, I took the wet wipe and I actually just wiped it, the excess off. I actually wiped it pretty good. I wanted the wood to show through and I wanted it to look very faded and old looking. I did this to blue one as well. When I was done with this part, I'm gonna go ahead and go back to my board that I created, and I took a chippy brush from the Dollar Tree and that white chalk paint, and I dry brushed it on top of the gray slats of this sign. And also I did the same thing with red and white, red and blue star, so I gave it even more distressed look. Now for the white star, I took that gray chalk paint and I just distressed the edges a little bit. Now it's time to assemble this, or actually to put the stars on the board. I wanted them to be put offset and I wanted them to be raised a little bit. So I took a little piece of craft stick and I hot glue it on a board, and then I hot glue the star on top of it. And now the next step will be to apply some words on it. But first I'm going to tell you that this video is sponsored by Cricut. They sent me this beautiful Cricut maker that I'm going to use today to create my decals. So first thing I'm going to do is measure my board to see how large printout I want it to be. Then I'm going on my phone and a Cricut Design Space. I'm opening the new project and picking out the font that I want, and I'm typing in whatever I want. This, in this case, it is are the words One Nation and then Under God. And then so I type it in and I put it in the top left corner and I just adjust the size that I needed. And after that, I'm just following the steps, whatever it's prompt up. It is super easy. You just need to follow whatever they're telling you to do. When I'm picking up the material, I'm using the premium vinyl, and now I'm showing you how it works. I'm taking this light grip and my vinyl and I'm sticking it on the mat, and then I'm putting in a machine. Again, machine is telling you what to do exactly, so there's no room for mistake. Even though if you're a beginner, it is so easy to use. It just literally tells you what to do. You just click on the buttons. Now my machine is cutting, and then after everything was done, I am pulling off the mat, not the vinyl, because I didn't want vinyl to curve, and I'm weeding off the excess, leaving on the wording that I chose. And now I'm taking the transfer tape, putting on top of it, and using my scraper, just give it a little press to make sure it sticks really good. After that, I am peeling off that transfer tape and applying the words to my project and just scraping it a little bit and peeling off the transfer tape, and that's it for this project. Now let's talk about this challenge. This is a Patriotic Open challenge. The host is Theresa. She is my very dear friend, such a bubbly personality, and I absolutely love it. She's so talented. And her co-host is Sammie over at Unicorn Dust Design, another wonderful lady. I absolutely adore her. So in this challenge, we had to create something red, blue, or white, and I'm so glad to be participating in this challenge. It is very meaningful. I want to thank everyone who served this country, and especially our host, Theresa. She was also in the army. I want to thank her too. And in this video, we are going to support the Fisher House, which is actually home away from home, offered at no cost to military and veterans families while their loved ones are receiving specialized care. So this is such a great cause, and I'm going to have a link to Fisher House in my description box, so make sure to check that out, as well as the playlist link and Sammie's and Theresa's channels link as well. Now let's go ahead and start with DIY number 2. For this project, I'm going to be using these beads. There's a bunch of just smaller beads, and then 2 larger and 2 longer ones. Also, I took 2 blue and 2 red and some natural colored beads. Now for these first set of beads, I'm gonna spray paint them white, and then for these red and blue, I just took my Rust-Oleum chalk paint inland in a white color, and I just kind of dry brushed it. I wanted it to be a little bit aged. Now I have another star like I used in my first project, and I'm going to use my crocodile to create a hole, to just punch a hole. I love this tool. It is absolutely amazing. I'm going to link it in my description box as well. Now I'm going back to this these two red Arteza acrylic paints that I used earlier, and I will just again do the same thing. I will give it one coat, and I will then wipe off the excess. After that is done, I'm going to go ahead and get this white cotton twine from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to create a tassel. I've shown many times on my channel how to create tassel. This is the way I do it. If there is any other way, or actually any easier way to do it, I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, but this is the way I do it. So I'm creating a very simple tassel, and then after I was done with it, it is time to assemble my bead garland. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of hot glue and put it on the end of this jute twine, and then I'm going to start beading it. I alternated the colors, but the main point was to pattern to be red, white, and blue, and you will see that in just a minute when everything is finished, that that's how it turned out. Now when everything is done, on the other end, opposite of tassel, I am attaching the star. I am just piping it through that hole. I am creating one knot and then wrapping it a few times around, and then creating 2 more knots, making sure it's nice and secure. And I'm cutting off the excess, adding a little bit of hot glue just to make sure it doesn't unravel. Now I'm using my Cricut, and I'm doing the same thing I did in my first project, except this time I just created decal that it says USA, and I'm putting it on my star, peeling off the transfer tape, and look how beautiful it looks. Now I want to welcome you if this is your first time on my channel. If you're coming from this challenge, I'm Jelena, stay-at-home mom of 2 kids. I love crafting on a budget. I love doing DIYs on a budget, and mostly in the rustic style. I do explore some other styles like farmhouse and modern, but everything that I do, it has to be on a budget. So I really hope you enjoyed my videos and my projects, and if you do, please subscribe. I would really love to have you. If you're on a social media, I am on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. Come and say hi. I really love to know my viewers. Also, I want to remind you that my regular upload times are Tuesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Unless there is some kind of change, I usually try to let you know in advance. DIY number 3. This is a super simple one. I'm taking this white fabric that I had on hand. I am going to iron it a little bit, and then I am going to go ahead and flip it over, and I will iron the edges, fold the edges and iron them, just because later on I'm going to glue them, and it's going to be way easier to do it that way. So now I'm going to go ahead and use liquid stitch. I actually got this at Walmart for, I believe it was $1 something, less than $2. And I'm going to go ahead and just put that in that crease and fold it and press it with my fingers. It was that easy. Honestly, I absolutely love this. I'm going to use this for sure again. Now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and use the heat press. So I'm going to set it up using a Cricut heat guide. It tells me for this fabric I need 315 degrees and 30 seconds. So while that's heating up, I'm going to go ahead and start creating my project. Again, I'm starting with a new project, and I'm going to use star shapes. So I'm going to create 2 stars, choosing what size I want. And then when I'm done with that, I am using this everyday iron on, and its colored side goes down, and also you need to click mirror on. So after I was done with the red, I'm using the blue one, doing exactly the same thing, and I'm gonna have, now you will see 2 red and 2 blue stars. So now I'm peeling off the excess, leaving on the stars on that plastic piece that came with the vinyl. And then I'm gonna go ahead and iron my tea towel, and then I'm gonna position the stars as I want, facing the right side up, and I will go ahead and press start on my heat press, and I will wait for it to count down, and then it's gonna beep when it's all over. I'm gonna flip it over and do 15 seconds on the opposite side. And after it's cooled down, I'm going to peel off this plastic part, and that's it for this project. I absolutely love all 3 projects that I created. This is my style. If you know me, you know that I like rustic, I like neutral decor. And for this red, white, and blue, I used the colors. I had to use colors, but I toned them down to fit my decor, and I absolutely love it. I want to hear from you. What do you think about these 2 projects? I kind of think they go hand in hand, so that's why I showed you them together. For my 3rd project, for a tea towel, I always love to create tea towels because it is such an easy way to add a decor, seasonal decor to your home. It cannot be easier, especially if you have a Cricut machine. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about all of these projects? Which one was your favorite? If you like them, please give it a thumbs up and share it. And please subscribe if you like my channel, if you like my videos. It would mean so much to me. I want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you, Cricut, for sponsoring this video, and don't forget to check out my description box for all the links that I mentioned earlier. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.